Boom. All right. I love it. So like this is actually, I'm going to teach you guys all sorts of awesome stuff, and I hope it's helpful. But really my joy comes from bringing you guys together and watching you connect and hopefully do something together, cheer each other, even if it's just cheering each other on. Really, that's my favorite thing. Even I run a mastermind group, and even within that mastermind, I really want people to work together, right? Lots of my clients, is anybody here my client and worked with somebody else in my group on some level? Yeah. Like, I don't know if any client of mine never works with somebody else in my group, because I make sure that there's, I don't assign people collaborations, right? But I create space. We create this space today, right? We eat together. We go outside together. We talk about what we want to do in the world, our problems, our challenges with intimacy. We do all of that so that we can come together, unite. United, we thrive. Okay? So I'm going to tell you how to work with high-end clients and how to create a program and how to sell it and all that. I don't have enough time to talk about marketing today, but what I want to say is I'm going to show you just a couple things around marketing that will help you. If you need more help, let's chat, because you can't do it alone. Like, your huge dreams, and it doesn't mean just me, but like you need help from somebody to advise you maybe, or maybe you need help from somebody to get your word out because you don't have enough of an audience, right? I would love for every single person in here in this moment to take just take a moment and think about, who do I know that's connected to a lot of the kinds of people I want to help, but they can't help them the way that I can. Who do I know that's connected to a whole bunch of people that I can help, and they can't help them the way I can help them? Does that make sense? Write it down. Write somebody down. I know there's at least one person. And be brave today. Reach out to that person after this event. Send them a message like, hey, I want to chat. I want to tell you about my dreams. I want to learn about your dreams. Let's see if there's any way for us to help more people together. Yeah? So we're here today. I'm not going to go too deep dive into my personal story, because many of you guys have actually already heard it. I know some of you guys haven't, and you're a speaker, speaking coach, so I'd love to share it with you more. Come more. But I actually don't want to dive into it too much today, because I just want to talk about today, really. There's so many of you who have really amazing hearts. Every single one of you in this room. You have bigger hearts than most humans on this planet. Like, you are the outlier in terms of the heart energy. You guys are in the heart energy outlier group. Would you agree? And you hang out and you hang around with those kinds of people too, right? And when you meet somebody who's not like that, you either kind of like don't want to be around them or you want to help them, right? Okay. So several years ago, I started a business. As many of you guys might know. If you don't know, I was at the time working like 5 jobs, and I was, I'm a highly educated woman, used to teach environmental policy at Ohio State University, and I could go on and on and on about the accolades. But when I started my business, and then I hired a coach, and I started doing all these like awesome personal development events, all these things on money mindset, all these things on business, what I noticed was exactly what I noticed in there earlier. When I talk about money and charging more, or when money was talked about in a room, shit got weird real quick. You could talk about sex. You could talk about relationships. You could talk about being overweight. Money, oof. Why? Y'all are hiding. Everybody's hiding. There's some story about money that we have in our head that we don't want to tell anybody. That's often what's going on, and I can feel it. I can feel it from every individual, but more importantly, I can feel it with the collective. And so I just made it my mission to figure this out. Have you guys ever thought, like, I'm smart enough, I work hard enough, why don't I have the money that I want? Who's thought that? I'm smart enough, I work hard enough, why can't I figure this out? Right? It's the same thing with Julia. People might think, I'm smart enough, I work hard enough, why can't I figure out relationship? Right? All the time. And so I'm really like, I talk about money a lot, right? You guys come in, I'm like, who wants money? Right? I wanted to get these guns, or like where they shoot money out, and then it was like, it's a gun, so that's kind of weird. One of my friends, like I literally had it in my Amazon cart, and they go, you might want to rethink that gun thing, right? But the reason I'm like throwing money up in the face is because it's uncomfortable. And we need to face what we're uncomfortable with, like Julia was saying, right? That's the growth point. And so I would love just a little popcorn, if you're willing and open, and it doesn't have to be everybody, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I'd be curious, because I'm gonna talk about how to create a high-end offer. What price point, I just wanna hear so I can understand and help you guys more, what price point is high-end to you? What do you wanna sell? Like, what's a price point you wanna sell? You're like, I really wanna go out in the market and sell this thing for this much money. What's some numbers?
50,000.
10, 50.
20,000.
Couple million, 20,000, couple thousand, 100K. Anybody else? Sure. Okay. What was that like?
It's kind of hard to get the low numbers.
It was hard to hear the high numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Anybody else?
It was a little exciting.
Huh?
Kind of like a,
Exciting. What else?
I wanted to know like what was being sold. You know, like with each person's number. I was like,
Yeah. What are you gonna do for that much? What are you gonna do for millions, right?
great.
Yeah. Cool. It's cool. Yeah.
So I've always had the attitude, and cabinetry is my expertise. Yeah. But I've had the attitude to get what you pay for. Because
Boom.
when people say
Love
low
it.
numbers around here, I'm thinking shitty cabinet line. Say high numbers, all right, they're gonna get a nice product and I'm gonna make it work. That's where my head was because of my experience with what I've sold. And people, when you sell a project, at least with kitchens and baths, it's not necessarily the money. They're not always truthful. They're not comfortable with talking about the money, but you need to know what their budget is and what their scope of the project is to put them in the right fit. But they always have a way when you can show them the value of what they're getting.
You should be a speaker today, baby. Absolutely. That's it. You just nailed it.
Selling cabinets.
It's exactly
and the
it.
personalities of the clients that are associated with those types of lines.
Exactly. Yeah.
Price points that are too high for the middle of the road, I feel like make it so that I can help less people.
Anybody else feel like that? If you charge more, you can't help as many people?
You can do both.
Does anybody else feel like that? I'm asking that first. Let's just start there. Does anybody else ever feel like that? Or ever felt like that? Yeah. It makes sense. It makes sense. Totally. It totally does. And what I'm here today is to show you something that potentially could be different. Yeah? Okay. And I agree. Totally agree. So let's get started. Let's get some notes out. First of all, I'm just going to give you a brief rundown because a lot of the question I get is, well, how? How do I create a high-end offer? And so we're going to talk about how to do it first, and then I'll talk about how to sell it and how to find people. So first, when you have a high-end offer, you need to focus on the outcomes, the results. What do your people want? So I often say list 3 to maybe 7, right? It just depends. Maybe it's one result, right? My people, for example, they want more money. They want to be able to do it, though, where they're not overworking, right? So they actually want time freedom as well, my people. Because some of my people that come to me, they're overworking. They're working too many hours and not getting the income they want, so I can show them how to structure the business model, structure the time, everything so they have more time. So I can sell on an outcome, I can actually sell time, more time. I can give you more time and help you make more money. Those are 2 outcomes, right? I can also help you have better posture, embody a wealthy woman, right? What does that mean? And it's not the same as me, it's your form of wealthy, right? I'm here to help you be in alignment with who you are. And so there's certain things that I can speak to. Write down just, for a moment, what are the outcomes? And then I'm going to tell you something, and I think my clients in the room who are here will be able to chime in. Generally speaking, because we're on Earth, right? We got this whole Earth existence thing going on right now. We're 3D. Most people have pain in the 3D world, right? This is the pain place. It's not like everybody's trying to go back to spirit because it's yummier there, yeah? And it's pain here, it's emotional, ugh. You guys get that? Yeah. Okay. So what do we do as business owners? We help people with pain. Is that true? Yeah, I mean, everybody's like, even if they're like hungry, pain, they get just a Snickers bar or whatever, you know, like it's all about serving somebody who's like suffering on some level. Does that make sense? So people, the way they think for their wallet is 3D. Cool? So what are the things in 3D people have pain with? I'm going to tell you right now. Clients, what are they?
Relationship.
Relationships, 1. People are in pain.
Health.
Health. Yeah, health. Yeah, super. Like, you know, weight, how much money goes into a weight loss every year? Ton, billions, right? So the body, it's lots of pain. People pay for relationship stuff, for body stuff. What else? Money. People want to be fit, rich, and in love. That's what I like to say to keep it easy. People want to be fit, rich, and in love. They don't want to be spiritual. They want to be spiritual so they can be fit, rich, and in love because we're on earth. The only reason why anybody wants some spiritual work or some personal development work, some inner thing, is so they can have the earthly existence of being like heaven on earth, right? It's not the inner game. It's not the journey that you're selling. I often say I could put pink sparkle dust on you. If you made $1 million, you'd be fine with it, right? You pay me for it, ROI. You don't care how it happens, right? If you join me and I help you do the thing and you enjoy what you're doing, you're fine with it. You don't care how it happens, right? It has to be in alignment. I can't make dig holes or something weird, right? But in the end of the day, you guys are here because you want more money. You want more clients. You want to figure out the way to make it happen so that you have more time maybe, right? Does that make sense? So write down, what are you selling? And I would just like to play just for a moment with, if there's one person in the room who feels like you might have struggle with this, like, well, what am I selling that's fit, rich, and are in love? Let's just do a little, I'll coach you and I'll help you, and I think we can use it as an example for everybody. So does anybody have something where you're not sure how you help people get results with health, wealth, or relationships? Yeah, baby.
I mean, I help special education teachers in their program and like access to technology. That's not really related to their personal health welfare, right?
I don't know. How many of you guys in here get frustrated by tech? Is that helpful? Mm-hmm. Because what's frustration? Is that healthy? No, it's stress. It's like, it'll kill us. Like frustration is like, it's a form of anger. It'll hurt the liver. We go on and on about the mind-body connection with frustration, right? But yeah, you're actually helping women become healthier by easing their mind around technology, right? Maybe you're helping them improve their relationships because they have more time and they're not having to sit and figure out for hours what to do. They have more time for their families or whatever, right? That makes sense? So we can extrapolate. The messaging is you need to talk outer outcomes, right? The inner stuff is important. So maybe you help people with confidence and all of these things, but so that they can get the outer 3D stuff. Because that's where they're buying from. That's where their mind is when they're in pain.
So do you feel like when you do outcomes, if it's more of a being-based goal, you want to make sure you have it so that you can do included within that?
So nobody wants to change the way they're being, just to change the way they're being. They want to change the way they're being, so that's part of it. It's the inner stuff, right? But you want to link it. If you're going to go high end, you've got to link it to those other things, like you're saying, to fit the health, wealth, relationships. So most people in the personal development world, they want to help people. They talk the inner game, or they talk the work. How many of you guys have tried to sell work before? How's that working for you? Right? Now, we're a group of people who do work. So it's like we've bought personal development work and but we've only done it to feel better in some part of our life. So go back and check, like maybe even down to your own, all of the workshops you've done and the events you've done and the coaches you've hired and all the things, and think about what would you describe? What did you get out of it? Right? What did you really get out of it? Like not just the inner stuff. Like, yes, you got confidence. Yes, you grew up. Maybe you were not, so you could connect with the inner child, right? All of this stuff. But then what is that doing for your health, your wealth, and your relationships? And that's the kind of stuff you want to be selling to high-end clients. Make sense? How's that feel?
Does this work for lower end clients as well? If you
Yep, you'll sell faster.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. If you speak their pain points, nobody lays in bed and is like, I just really want to be a better person. Like, they just don't do that. They're like, oh, I'm so lonely, I want love. Oh, I'm so broke, I want to go on vacation. Right? Oh, I wish I could just fit into the skinny jeans again. That's what's going on. That's the truth of it. So if we're going to be service leaders, we have to serve our people. We can't talk our stuff. It's not about our stuff, our process, right? It's about the results it's getting. So that's like, I could go on and on and on and on and on, right? But this is what we do all the time. So if you need help with your program, putting it together, let me know. You know, we can chat privately. I can give you free training. I can give you all the things. Choose the length of time. So a high-end client, high-end offer, what I often say is you want to usually do something over more sleeps, right? So like maybe 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, something, right? I work with people for a year because if you're going to change the way you do business and receive more, it's going to take you about a year. It's going to take you about 4 seasons to really make the massive shift that you want. I mean, I've worked with clients for 6 months and that was fine, but really the year is like massive transformation. And if you're going to be offering a high-end program, you want them to have massive transformation. Now, your high-end program might be a weekend. That might be what they need to get the massive transformation, right? So I'm not saying you have to have a year-long program, every single person in here, but think about what is the time frame they need to get a massive transformation, to literally like be a different person after they work with you. Make sense? So it could be just a weekend or a day or a year. It just depends on what your business model is, like what you're working with and how you're helping people. But consider the fact that like nobody really makes like huge changes in one session, right? Like everybody's here done one-offs, right? I've done one-offs. We've all done one-offs at some level, yeah? And they're like, oh, they got clarity. How's that clarity working out? Right? Sometimes people are action-oriented and they got clarity and they take action, but most of humans aren't like that. Most people need a little bit more support over time and they get the clarity, but then there's more confusion, they're not sure what to do, right? So I really believe that it's not like you're not, like if you're doing one-offs, you're not serving people, but if you really want to serve people, like if you're really committed to your work and like the humanity transformation work you're doing, commit to them, like Julia said. The first time I offered a 12-month program, I was scared. Absolutely. I even said to the person, this is kind of a long time, I know. And she goes, no, it's not. I was like, oh shit, I got commitment issues. Right? I noticed it right then. That was a couple years ago. I noticed it right then. I was like, oh, interesting. Interesting. Right? So I'm actually very, very, you guys know this because you're here and I'm such an intense woman, right? I'm committed. I'm all in. I'm not going anywhere. Like, you're not getting rid of me online. You're going to see my face all day. It's like in your hand, right? You know it. I'm like, there she is 10 times today, right? Because I'm so committed to my work. I'm so committed to your vision, right? And I don't know who in here wants to up level with me. And even if nobody wanted to, I'm still all in. 100%. Okay? And that means to me a year long, probably with me, right? And that's because I've had enough clients to know that that's what's worked. So write down, what is the time frame that people need to work with you, that need access to you, to really get the transformation, that the big transformation that you want to help people with. Okay? Somebody yesterday told me I was an experience, not a human. Antoine. And it's because if you come and spend even a day with me, it will change your life. Because I will show you your value in a way that you've never seen, probably, unless you've had someone like me in your life. It's the work that I do in the world. And I'm so crazy passionate about it because I can feel the energy of people's insecurity around money. And I know that translates to pain in life. So before I hired a business coach, I was, like I said, I was working like 5 jobs. I was packing panties in a warehouse. Some of you guys have heard the story. Packing panties, right? 2 panties at a time. And really one of my biggest pain points was I felt too poor to date. Like I felt like I was too poor because if I met somebody, right, and he wanted to go to the mountains or something cool, right? That's what you do in Colorado. You go to the mountains, right? I don't know. You know, I'm like, I'm gonna meet this guy and he's gonna wanna go to the mountains, I think. I don't know. I'm learning. I'm still learning. Colorado, but I wouldn't date, or I would like what they call date down. You know, where that's like you date somebody who's not really like gonna hold you accountable or make you do anything, kind of, you know, just sort of there, but not really there, not really attached, not committed. You kind of, hey, what are you doing? Want to hang out? Cool. You know? And that's like not really what I wanted, but it was my bank account that made me feel like that was all I deserved. Right? And so when I hired a coach, it's like now I've met amazing men. I'm not partnered up at this point, but I've met amazing men, and I have, you know, I date and I make friendships with people and I have connections, and it's really beautiful. I feel valuable in the world in terms of in the dating world, right? I love that. It's huge for me, right? Because relationship, any entrepreneur in here, the relationship has been kind of the harder part of life. For me, I'm really good at working. Anybody here good at working? Yeah. And so it's been, you know, a little bit more challenging for me in that. So when I started valuing myself, I hired a coach. I started charging what I was worth. I was like, oh, I can date great guys. I meet amazing men now, right? I can move into a place. I can have the car I want. I can do all these things that I didn't think I could do before, right? And so that's why, like, I've had clients come to me and say, Leela, I can finally buy the underwear that I want, right? Or, you know, we can plan out a beach house, or we can move to Colorado, right? I've had clients move to Colorado. So these are the things that are important to me for you guys. And that's what you want to think about for your people. It's like, what do they really, really want? Okay. So whatever they want is going to take a period of time, right? What services are you going to deliver? Are you going to have private stuff? Are you going to give them products? Are you going to give them groups, trainings? Are you going to give them online stuff? Are you going to give them worksheets? Like, what are the things that they're going to get? Make sense? Okay. What I will say is high-end clients don't want a bajillion things. They're already overwhelmed, usually. People are already kind of trying to get at them. And so you want to make their life as simple as possible, give them what they need, and not too much more, because you'll overwhelm them. Detail how you'll deliver the service. So this is just simple, like, are you going to meet in person? Are you going to meet on Zoom? Are you going to do a retreat? Like, I'm taking people to Australia this year. So fun. Who wants to go to Australia with me? Solar plexus chakra of the world. Yeah, that's where we're going. We're going to go to the beach house. We're going to do a trip to the Outback. So this is the kind of stuff, like, what are you going to give your people for what they pay you? Yeah. Name your price. So you can see we haven't added the value up yet. Name your price. You guys spouted off some prices, right? Okay. And then determine the value. Do you see how I did that? How many of you guys thought maybe it would be the other way around? Right. So often we'll think we need to, like, write the value down and then think of the price. But I'm telling you guys, you're worth it. Whatever price you want to charge, you're worth it. Listen, the price is in there. You don't have to think about the value. I mean, I'll talk about that in a second, but that's this value thing. If you show up fully for people, you'll give it. I trust you all, that you're not slackers with your people. You love your people, yeah? Like every single one I know, I can see you guys loving on your people. So I'm not worried about you guys not giving value. I'm worried about what? You guys charging enough? Yeah, you guys charging what's in your heart is really what it is. Like, what's in your heart, right? And so I can, we can hear 10,000, we can hear 50,000, we can hear millions. Every person's different. There's no right number, right? Maybe high end is 2,000. Maybe it's 50. Welcome. So whatever number it is, I would love for you to think about what's that number, write it down. And then after you go back and look at all the things that you're giving, then determine the value. And then if you need to change some things, add some more, take some things away, shift some things, you can. But I'm going to say, think about, what does it take for the transformation? How long does it take, right? What do I want to charge? And then you can like do the numbers and add up the value stuff. Does that make sense when I'm talking about the value stuff, or does anybody have questions about that? Does that make, because you guys have all had business trainings and you get that, right? If not, raise your hand. Okay, all right, I just want to make sure that that's, because I could go into that, but I think you guys all get that. What questions do you have about this? Is that comfortable or uncomfortable?
Naming your price.
Before determining the value.
Naming your price before you determine the value. Well, I feel like that's important because kind of like what I coach people on is, I don't know how accurate this is, but I tell them, you know, judging yourself is one of the worst things you can do. You should probably rely on people, peer friends, and not the people that are just going to say yes to you, but just, you know, the world too, to determine how great you are. 9 times out of 10, we put ourselves 10 scales below how awesome we actually are. So does that coincide?
What do you guys think? How do you guys feel? Do we put ourselves below what other people think of us?
Yeah, yes.
Often. Not everybody does, but often, right? Mm-hmm. I would love to chat with every single one of you and tell you how much I think you're worth. Or not your worth, but your product is worth. You know, if you guys want to chat later. But I love that game, right?
I think that's why
It's a fun game.
your price and then determine the value, because price is more, it's a desire to have a certain amount of money, or a belief energy. Like if you have $5,000 in your bank and you've had that since X amount of years, it's a good chance you'll probably always never believe that you'll have much more than that. So if you name your price first and then determine the value, maybe you can restructure that. Because I think numbers in general have a lot of power.
They do. They're so powerful. I love that share. Thank you. Yeah. So I know there's a number in your heart that you'd love to charge, and it's hard. So I just love that to be the first step before you kind of get heady with the value, the heart piece. And then if for some reason you feel like the price is too high and you're not offering enough or something like that, like get some help and get the stuff massaged so that it feels right. But usually it's not that you're not offering enough. It's just that you're scared to take the money. Does that make sense? Everybody agree with me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's why we're here. Bonuses. Add bonuses, like 1 to 3 bonuses. People love extra stuff. They just do. They just like extra stuff. We just do. We like when you give us extra stuff. We're like, oh, cool, I got that. Now, not everybody's like that, right? Most people are, though. Most people are. So my advice is, you know, you can create a bonus here in your program, your package, your services, whatever you do, that's, you know, general, like you offer it all the time. Or you could have maybe like in your back pocket, like a handful of them, right? Like depending on the person, what they really, really want, like what would it be? Like what could you offer somebody that they're like salivating? That's what you want to think in a bonus. Like what's the thing that they're like, oh, I really want to do that, right? Like I hope that going to Australia is desirable for some of my people, that's the thing that they're like, I want it. Right? Because, you know, I can show them I can show, you know, my clients how to build a business, and I can show my clients how to have an amazing body, and that live experience with me though, there's nothing like it. And so a lot of people in my clientele, they get that if there's a live experience, there will be a transformation. So there's a certain level where I offer the Australia trip, right? Or maybe it's like they want a bonus, some private extra time with me because they're like so scattered, spaghetti headed, and they're scared of where they are right now. Because I come up with a lot of people, there's a lot going on, a lot of creative ideas, and they don't know where to like put them all in, right? And so that might take us a long time to work on, or we could just do chunk some time together and do it all at once. So it's up to me to determine and to feel into this person and say, what do they really need to get the results? And what are they going to like really be like excited about, right? Like Rochelle, we've done some work in nature and whatnot, done some gridding. And if she were to offer me some package of something, and then she offered me an opportunity to go out into nature with her and do that again, that would probably be the thing that would hook me, because I had such a good time the last time doing it. I was like, oh my God, I talked to trees. They talked to me, but right? I was like, I wanted the trees to talk to me. She taught me how. Actually, I've been doing it. So that's the kind of thing, like you can see, you know how geeked out I get over the tree talking thing. She would want to offer me a bonus around the tree talking thing. Does that make sense? So you might have your package or services set up and it's so beautiful and wonderful, but then you feel the person and you're like, oh man, I think they really want private coaching, right? Or they'd really want a live experience, or they really want, you know, that extra speaker training, something, right? I'm going to review their speech for them. Like I'll be the person to put the dots and the periods if you forgot them, right? Like that could be huge for somebody, potentially, if they don't feel comfortable and like confident in that, like writing it all down part. Because some people, they want to speak and they're scared to write it down. They're scared to even write it down, right? And so you could be like, we'll do a writing session together, right? And that would be like, oh, you love me. You get me. That's the hardest part, right? So that's the, like when you're working with a high-end client, you want to see them deeper. Does that make sense? Anybody have any bonus ideas that you've done or thought of, or yeah?
Well, with specific people, we've done like a money back guarantee, only if we think that it's, you know, totally achievable. But people love that.
How would that be cool if you're like, okay, if we don't get your results, you get your money back? Would that have, for some of you guys maybe would jump in, right? Yeah, totally. I love it. I love it. What'd you have?
To have definitive results.
Well, that's what she's saying. She's guaranteeing it. I love it. It's like, it's not really a bonus, but it's like, it is a bonus in the sense of like, you're safe with me. I give you this extra layer of safety that says, hey, you get everything back. I love it.
So kind of on the other side of things, there's been a few coaches in my life that have said, never offer bonuses. Give them the whole shebang all at once. Bang, this is the best of the best. There's nothing else.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of businesses that do other things. So buy one, get one free. Have you ever heard of that? BOGO. Like we talk about it, we got BOGO. Like, what is that? Like, that's like so American. Yeah. We like free shit. It just is. We love free shit. We love extra stuff, right? Consumerismproblem.com. You know, so I can't say to what those other coaches were speaking to, because there's probably like a bigger context. But if you test it out, you'll know in your own business. That's what I would say. Test it out. See. Yeah, Americans love free shit. That's all I can say. Like, we just love bonus extra stuff. Like, if McDonald's, you know, they probably have like the more fries. The extra, oh, well, for 79 cents or whatever it is, like you get extra big things, like big sodas and fries and supersize. See, I was trying to look for that word, supersize. We love to be supersized. So that's what a bonus is. It's more like, so that doesn't sound, how does that feel to you?
I understand the bonuses and I understand people liking free stuff. It's just conflicting things that have been.
How do you feel about giving people bonuses? Is it like, it's not my thing? Or you're like, I like it?
It depends on the person.
Depends on the person.
Depends on business.
Yeah. Well, she's got a business. Yeah. So could you see where it could maybe help you with like hiring clients or enrolling more people if you gave them something, and you could still do the exact same thing but call something that you were giving and the whole thing a bonus? It's the exact same thing. You just frame it differently. So in my PhD research, there was a lot of research around framing, around languaging. So this isn't like you're doing anything different. It's just the languaging, the frame. You're putting the mind, you know, in a different frame of like, she's very generous. Mm-hmm.
It can be the illusion of added value, and it might not cost you anything.
Exactly.
Special offer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, if you're really good at what you do too, I mean, you've got this like just creative, whatever you're generating at all times. And like you said, it won't cost you anything. And you can give that pretty freely without any, you know, like overworking of yourself. But you have to figure out that line, right?
Well, that's exactly. So it's not about give, overdo it, because high-end people don't want that. They don't want a bunch of stuff, right? But they want something special, right? I moved into this building because they give me special things. I feel fancy. You get that? I pay for it too. Just saying. Right? but I pay for it because they give me extra stuff, right? So it's a high end. You might be thinking like, what could I offer somebody at this, maybe like another level program, even if you want to have maybe one program doesn't have bonuses, then one program does or something. Yeah, did you have,
Oh, I was just gonna share that I offer, like, we team up and I offer my clients bonus sessions with Antoine, which is wonderful because he has more of a masculine perspective. He'll also often talk to partners of my clients, and so you can have like friends that are coaches, you know, kind of come on. I know Lila has
Collaborate with referral programs.
collaboration.
Yeah, so I have how many of you guys know Elle Ingalls, my girlfriend Elle Ingalls? Okay, so I have my accountability partner. We talk every morning at 6 a.m. my time, 8 a.m. her time. And you guys met her and she's lovely. Some of you guys might have even worked with her. And what she does is she helps people with stress, especially like if somebody's really getting triggered a lot and producing adrenaline and cortisol in their body, she helps them with that. And so can you imagine how that could be beneficial to my clients? Yeah, huge. So a bonus could be for them, like maybe they know, maybe they're like, they want to do the business, they want to sign up with me, but they're still like in this like stress. I'm going to give them a bonus sessions with Elle Ingalls. Like I'm going to pay her money even, send my clients to her, get them to be less stressed, right? That might be a bonus, right? It just depends on what the client needs, but that could be a bonus. So like you guys are saying, it doesn't even have to be you working. It could be like, I'm going to give you access to this online course. I'm going to give you access to this free or to this video, or my friend who does something else. So you're a perfect example of somebody who would like, you could team up with like business coaches who aren't teaching speaking, right? And maybe they're just teaching certain things, but they're not doing as much marketing stuff. And you could be like their marketing person, like, oh, talk to her for speaking. Right? And that could be like a bonus. I'm going to give you her free $200 program or $1,000 program or whatever it is. Right? So it doesn't always have to call too much out of you. I love that. Cool. Bonus, bonus, bonus. How fun is that? And then can you see this last one? Just a name of the program. How many of you guys have thought about your names of your programs more than any of this other stuff? Yeah. We've all thought about the names of our program. Like, is this the right one? You know, this kind of thing trips people up a lot. Like, what should I name it? What should I name it? What should I name it? If you ever want to, you know, help, I can help you name a program, but really it doesn't matter that much. What matters are the results. If you're going to name a program, what you want to do is figure out, you go back to here, outcomes. So I call, you know, my program the Business Up Level Mastermind Program. You know, when you come to me, you're going to get expansion in your business. Is that pretty clear? Like you might not know exactly how, but you know, if you're going to come to me, you're going to up level, which means grow your business. Ideally, like exponentially with me. That's my goal, is to get you to massively expand, not just like a little, right? That's when you're starting off business. But when you're ready and you're ready to really like, you come to me, right? That's my name with my program, my intention to kind of like translate to you. So think about, and I'm going to tell you how I got the name of the program. One of my clients came to me, and I kept hearing this from people, but she came to me and she goes, Leila, I'm ready to up level. It's time. I'm ready to sign up. And I was like, oh, the name of my program, thank God. Like I'd been dying for like 6 months to try to figure out this awesome name for my next program. I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, why don't I just ask my people? So back to that market research, we were talking about that high-end messaging, kind of that stuff. Ask your people. And there's going to be some language that they're using that you can use too, that'll speak to them, right? And it's funny because I started using this business up level, and then the word up level is like everywhere, right? So it's like not really that unique anymore, but I don't care, it works because everybody knows it. So you want to find something that resonates. If you're going to, you know, spend some time on the name of your program, find something that resonates. Like, yes, it's your stuff, but like really resonates with your people so that they want in on it. Like it's like they want in on your thing, right? And the name of it does matter in terms of if they're going to say like, oh, I'm part of the Business Up Level program, or I'm part of, who else has been part of a program that you could say like, I'm part of Maria Forleo's B School, or what's George Carroll's program's name? Transformation Academy. What else? I've been in one called Abundant Yogi. I've been in one called Aspire. I mean, I could go on and on and on. Who else? one, Bold New World. That was a horrible name. He knows it too, so we've talked about it. It's funny. It's like, that could have been a better name. What else? What other names you guys been in? Achieve. That's one. Achieve.
I'm in startup school right now.
Startup school.
It's a free program.
Cool. Love it. Yeah. So you can see how, like, it's pretty clear what's going on in startup school. You're starting up some business stuff, yeah? Yeah, you're learning how in the
A lot of
school.
learners there.
Yeah.
A lot of new faces to the startup scene.
Oh, I love it. We need to tap into the startup scene, huh?
It's good. Good community there.
Yeah. So the name of the program is is the last thing you want to do based upon once you create it all. Make sense? So try to let your brain like settle, and if you have a whole bunch of ideas of program names, just write them down somewhere. And then like test them out with your friends, but really test them out with your ideal clients. Because your friends might have some opinions, but your ideal clients will have the ones that you really want. Cool? Anybody want to test out a program name that's been in your head? And see, want some help with it? Huh? Yeah, Jocelyn.
I'm more of a tagline, but go from stress to blessed.
What do you guys think? Say it out loud again, a little bit louder.
Go from stressed to blessed.
Okay, can I add something about that? That's a great name. It'll appeal to like 10% of the market. And then I'll spit about this. Like,
So what's the suggestion?
the suggestion is have branding for different sectors of the market. You're the same person.
So let's talk about the message,
Yeah.
not the branding.
Okay.
From stressed to blessed. Did you like it? Yeah, that's really what matters. It's not about going deep and thinking hard and da-da-da-da. It's, did it resonate with the audience? And I saw it, everybody was like, oh, that's nice, right? So the next piece, it's kind of what you're saying is, now you want to go out and don't say stressed to blessed to anybody and ask them. Like, once you're not stressed out, what's life going to be like? Are they going to say blessed?
Probably, maybe not.
I don't know. Your people. I don't know. Test it out. See what, I mean, it's inside of you. Why not see? Just ask. And then it's maybe you keep from stress to blessed, but then you add something that's like pulls them in more for the branding piece, like you're saying.
Or just different words, different people have different words.
So you want to really find like, who are your people and what are their words? Like my people were saying up level. I wasn't using the word up level. That was not my language. I like it because it's like, it's me. Up level, right? Like I love it. I can own it. I can feel it. I can be it. I can speak it. I love it. But it wasn't mine. I didn't create it out of like, it was my people. And that's how I got it. Use your ideal clients for all the things you need to how to talk to them. They'll be your best resources. Okay. Now let's talk about my favorite topic in business. What do you think it is? Sales, woohoo! The least favorite part for most people. And hopefully today you'll like it more. That's the goal. Okay, so 7 steps to sell in service, because every single one of you guys is a service leader, yeah? Raise your hand if you're a service leader. Whoop, whoop. You do your business, you're in service to others, right? You love other people, you're helping people, yeah. So I created this sales system after learning different sales systems from different coaches, different programs. I've spent, I don't know, a couple $100,000 on sales training, like to really learn it. And I'm still learning. I'm still refining. Like there's still sometimes I get off of a sales call. I had a sales call with a New York woman the other day, and we were like, because she was so resistant, so I got into resistance. And I like watched myself do it. And I was like, what the, I'm pulled into her energy, right? So it was the New York thing, that tough girl thing. She got me a little bit. I felt myself pulled in a little bit. And then I kind of backed off and I was all right. And I got back in it, you know? But it happens. So even though like I teach sales, I talk about, I mean, how many, on our Monday calls, like how much do we talk about sales? All the time, like all the time. Like 90% of the call, 90% of the questions are how can I sell more? How can I enroll clients, right? What do I say? And so I'm super passionate about this. So I created my own system based upon the types of clients that I work with. So the types of clients that I work with are usually very compassionate, very heartfelt, feelers, right? A lot of empaths, healers, people who are like, from a consciousness level, there's a commitment to humanity on some, like those are the people that I support. You love making the world a better place and waking up every day, and that's what you want to do, right? Anybody feel like that in the room? Yeah, you're my people. Like, I'm like that, so you're like that. We're little bees and we just like gravitate together and let's help the world together, right? So those are my people. And what I found was a lot of sales systems were a little too, what some would call masculine, too forceful, maybe, for my people. Not that they're bad, they work. They're very reliable sales systems for lots of people. My people just didn't like them. It was like icky. You ever hear that? I don't want to be salesy, it's icky. So it was like this feeling state stuff was coming up. So I was like, okay, how can I go out, travel around, hire these coaches, learn all these different sales systems? I still buy people's sales systems and learn and see what they're doing. And so how can I do it in a way for you feelers to have a better experience on the sales conversation? Does that make sense? Okay, so that's why I created this a couple years ago. And what I'll say is, you know, it's sold over, I haven't calculated, I know it's sold at least over 500,000, probably between 500,000 and 1 million in services, the system. And I've had more people enroll, like I don't sell a lot of online courses, but I've had more people enroll in with my sales system and get success from online course stuff than any of my other online courses. So this is a really special place in my heart to share with you today. And so I just want you to, just in this moment, just to take a couple breaths and feel your body. Remember that place of embodying wealth? And just ask yourself, in this moment, could you get into the position where you would be in right before a sales conversation? Where you're embodying that leadership position. So see if you need to shift around a little bit, go ahead and shift your body around so you feel more uplifted. Maybe you need to sit on your legs. So before you get on the phone, I'll share with you guys what I say. I don't know if I ever did this in a group, but before I get on a sales conversation, I just say a little prayer. And I always say, you know, thank you, thank you, thank you for bringing me the energy and allowing me to speak the words today that will most serve this person and the higher good for all. And so it is. 1-800 sales call. Okay? I trust. I let it go. It's not up to me, right? But I show up fully, okay, as a leader, meaning the body has to be in a position of openness, right? We can't be kind of closed off and, hey, because they're going to feel it. So you want to be open with your throat, open with your belly, really soft. I keep my awareness during my sales conversations in my womb space, deep, deep belly. So if this is tight right now, relax. You can open your mouth. So this tension, if there's any deep tension down here in the low belly, there's tension up here, they're going to hear it. So the body has to be nice and relaxed when you're on a sales conversation, or you're going to get into that position like I mentioned the other day with the woman in New York. I got my body, it was her energy and I fell into it and I got a little tense and resistant with her. And then I had to like relax my belly and back off and come back to the right spot. So that will happen, or you'll fall into their story about money, right? Or about why they can't do this thing, right? You'll feel bad for them. You need to hold your own space, your own energy. So this is key. How many of you guys have felt tight on a sales call? Oof, yeah, right? It's like, it'll take the energy. Some people, you might even feel like you need to fall asleep afterwards. It's so draining, right? In the beginning, I felt like that a little bit. I remember doing sales calls and I was like, God, I'm tired. I need to go to bed, right? It was just because we weren't present. We're really like outside of our body. So keep your breath moving when you're selling. Breath. If you're not breathing, you're not selling. You can't be present. You got to be breathing. And then that low belly, right? That's like the wisdom spot, because we're going to talk about experiences here in a second in the sales conversation. but I want you guys to feel first what it's like to be really in your body before you even get on the call. Does that make sense? Huge, everything. Okay, connect by listening. So this is where you're going to ask the questions, right? Like, what's your business like? Or how's your health? Or what do you want, what's going on? And then you're going to ask questions. This is really about where are they right now? Just, you're bonding. You need to bond with people in the beginning. Like if they need to tell you that their grandma just passed away, you need to listen. If you're selling high end, right? I don't want you on the phone selling $97 things and listen to everybody talk about their grandma. But if you're selling high end, you need to bond, especially if it's a cold lead, if it's not somebody you already know. But even if it's somebody you already know, you need to spend some time connecting before you start talking and getting into the questions. Okay, so what I noticed a lot in these sales scripts, there was a little bit too much of getting into things too quick. There needs to be bonding between two humans. Like Julia was saying, there needs to be that intimacy. If you're in your head thinking about what you're going to say next, you haven't bonded yet, don't go forward. Do not read your sales script if you have not bonded. You will not sell. You'll waste your time and breath, and those seconds have gone. So just huge here if you haven't bonded. And how do you bond with somebody? How did you guys do it earlier? Yeah, listening, sharing, listening, right? And then the next step you're going to ask them about, you're going to go deeper, right? You want to know, what is it that you want? Right? So somebody might say to me, I want $1 million business, or I want $500,000 business, or I want $100,000, whatever it is. And I'm like, okay, well, what are you going to do with the money? Like, what do you want? What do you want to do? Right? And then they might say well, I want to have enough to pay my bills, pay my debt off, student loans, and get a car. I'm like, okay, what else? Right? When I first hired my business coach, she did this with me, this kind of exercise. And I realized I wanted to go to Australia. I was like, I really want to go to Australia. I wanted to go when I was a kid, and I let go of my dreams because I think I didn't think I could afford to do all the things that I wanted to do in my life. I just assumed, because I grew up as a poor girl, I just assumed that that's what, you can't do the things that other people do. It's just, you can't, I just didn't think I could, right? And when she asked me, what do you want to do? I was like, I really want to go to Australia, right? And so I'm going to Australia this year, yeah? Hallelujah. I'm excited, yeah. My brother told me growing up, he was like, one day I'll take you, right? I'll probably end up taking him, right? Just because I've chosen the path of creating wealth so that I could do it. That's it. So listen for their deeper desire. Do I really care about money? No. Do I care about humanity? Absolutely. Do I care about leaving a legacy on this planet when I'm gone? Absolutely. Right? Do I care about going to Australia? Do I care about getting a beach house for my brothers who probably can't ever afford it? Unless they get on my wealth train, but they haven't yet. Just kidding, I love them. These are my deepest desires. I want to be able to do things for my family and do things for humanity while I'm here. I'm very mission oriented. I'm an alien, like you said. Don't tell, right? So this is what you want to give. Can you guys feel me here? That's what you want to do with your people. You want to feel them. So how many of you guys have talked to me before and you've told me something about your dreams and you felt that I heard you? Yeah, like I care. I really care about your dreams. Like it's important because if it's in you, it's meant to be. It's not in me. If it's in you, I'm like, oh my God, let's make it happen. Like I get so geeked out about it, right? So that's an important part. So you want to be able to feel your people that much, really feel them. Go deeper, go deeper, go deeper. It doesn't matter if the call needs to go long. Go deeper, right? Like, did you guys think you're going to be doing a beach house when you first signed up with me?
No.
Yeah. No. And we're planning your beach house now, yeah?
We have almost all the planning components down.
But I heard it. It was subtle. I was like, huh? What do you guys want to live on the, you guys want to go to the beach? Like, you want a beach house? Like, what? Like, well, I was like, oh, we're getting you a beach house. You're going to beach house, right? But that dream, those, like for me, Australia, right? That dream, that subtle thing that's inside, you want to be able to feel that on your sales conversations if you're going to work with high-end people. Because they're often not really even focused on themselves. The high-end people are focused on others often, right? So get to their dreams. If you're be able to get to their dreams, you're their person. More likely their person, right? This is see why sales is so service-based, you guys? See why it's like you could show up and do so many sales conversations and love it? And do you see why nobody gets off a sales conversation with me and never wants to talk to me again? They always they want more. Even if they say no, because I'm in service fully. And I love it. I think this is more important than any of the work you do with them, because this is when they choose to choose themselves. So if you get on the phone with me and you choose you, that's the moment things start to shift. It's not when we start working together. It's the moment you step in. And so you guys holding space for people really sacred for the sales, I'm so passionate about it because it's huge. This is where people get to change their life or not. Okay, who's excited about sales? Yay! Okay, so the next thing is experience the vision. So for you guys who are in embodiment work or feeling state work, this will make sense more. If you're not in doing body work, this is gonna be harder for you. That's why I teach body work. If you join me in my mastermind, we do business calls and we do weekly body calls. Because if you cannot help your people experience their vision, it's not gonna work. You can't go high end. So you wanna find out what their deepest desire is, Australia, for example. Well, what do you wanna do in Australia? Oh, well, I want to go to that big rock in the middle of the country. I don't know what that thing's called. What's that thing called? Right. But this is what I said to her on the, yeah, totally. Ayers Rock. Now I'm like, it's the solar plexus chakra. No wonder I got, I'm owning my power. Right. But I didn't know that at the time. But when I signed up with my coach and she said all that, what do you want to do? I'm like, well, I want to meet those Aboriginal women. They know some stuff I don't know. I don't know what it is they know, but they know things. And I want to know it. Like this is my truth, right? So are you guys at all in your minds in Australia right now? With the Aboriginals, maybe you see that big rock? Okay, we just experienced the desire. So you knew I wanted to go to Australia and it was like, okay, I see that on a map maybe. But we were just on the ground with the Aboriginal women, learning some stuff that I don't even know what we're gonna learn yet. I'm planning it out. We got travel agents, don't worry. Can you see that? So you're gonna wanna ask people like, what's it gonna feel like? Well, what do you wanna do when you're there? When do you wanna go on vacation? What do you wanna do? Like I had a woman who wants to throw $40,000 bar mitzvahs. She's got 4 kids. She wants to throw $40,000 bar mitzvahs. So she needs money, yeah? Yeah, her husband wants to throw $6,000. She has 40, there's a little bit of a gap, right? So I'm like, well, what do you wanna have at the bar mitzvah? What's a $40,000 bar mitzvah look like? Right? I don't know. I've never thrown one. But she gets to go on and on and on and on and on. And it's more real then. So don't tap into the desire. Experience it with them. Right? Like my desire now, I want to plant a garden in every backyard in America. Well, what's that going to be like? Oh, right. We get to like talk about it, go deeper on it. Right? And like I can see little kids like eating tomatoes from the garden. So you really want to experience it. Is this helpful? So can you see how the reason I created this system is so key for your kind of like way that you need to feel things with people? Yeah, most of you guys. Do you know how to do that in other parts of your life? Yeah, you guys totally do. Yeah, so just do it here too. Just feel with them, just experience. Yeah, get dreamy.
Question for you.
Yeah.
So this is definitely more like my style, right? But I'm working with all different kinds of business owners who fall into that category, but all have like different styles. So I'm just imagining, I don't know if this is true, but if I'm really following this with somebody who's not that style of communicator, who's not, doesn't want to go into an experience, who is a CPA or a banker or, and like,
they're more likely to buy if they feel the experience. That's what it's what it comes down to. If we are in the mind, we're less likely to buy. If we're in the body, the feeling state, the heart, that's when we buy. So it's not even really about if the person's type A, numbery, they still want things. So it's like, you can still ask them. They may not cry. Like I have people cry on sales calls with me all the time, right? Like, you're going to work with me, you're probably going to cry at some point because I'm going to like see your brilliance and you're like, whoa, crying I don't mean in a negative way. It's like a divine moment, right? That tears of divinity, kind of like, oof, right? Now, you may not be getting all people like that, right? Where they're going to cry. But if you still get into a little bit of it, like, well, when you were there, what's that going to be like? You know, what's that going to be like? And they might have nothing. Maybe they don't go there. That's fine. But I think as you can go there and kind of feel it, because even really tight, like, you know, an accountant who's super numbery might love their baby boy at home or something. They want more time for the baby boy that's at home. Like, I know some accountants that like turned super soft when they had kids, you know? So I still would play with it. I still would have to get to the mind and then get to the heart, and then they're more likely to purchase. Is that helpful? And, you know, and also you need to be comfortable with it. Like, maybe you're not comfortable feeling with somebody. Maybe the intimacy with that kind of person just doesn't feel there, and maybe you don't do it, you know? So you kind of have to gauge a little bit. But I really think that if you're going to sell, you know, a high-end package where it's going to be expensive, like, my stuff's expensive. I'll just say it. I hope you say that too someday. I hope you say, my stuff is expensive and it's good, right? So if you're going to do that, then they're probably going to want to feel, why is it so expensive, right? And the reason they want to feel, why is it so expensive? It's, oh, I'm going to get this amazing life after. Like, it's connected to the vision. So like, all my clients who are signed up with me, I have in my back of my mind their vision, even if they don't always have it in mind. Now, sometimes we need to revision because the vision's happened. Like, manifestation happens. You gotta have a new vision, right? So that's, you know, something to revisit. Okay, identify blocks. What's been getting in the way? What challenges do you have? One question I've been playing with lately, and I'd love for you guys to write this down. It's like, it really works. And I haven't taught, even you know, I've mentioned this on calls, but I don't include it in my sales script yet, is when you get into resistance, what does that look like?
You asked that question.
You ask that question. When you get into resistance, what does that look like? Or you might say, like, what happens when you feel like challenged? Or do you know, when you self-sabotage, what does that look like? So I had a coach ask me this, and that's why I'm like, I want to share it with you, because I thought it was brilliant. Because she said, what do you do when you get into resistance? And I said, oh, I go to sleep. I go to bed. I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I think it's I'm tired, right? Like, that's just what happens. Like, when their ego starts to take over and the darkness, you know, your resistance, you got to write that email and something happens, right? Some of us might, and I just get tired. I'll just go to bed. Like, I can't help it. It's just like, poof, shut down. Some people reach for the fridge. Some people reach for the bottle. Some people reach for the whatever, the friend, the call, and, you know, we all do different things. We disappear, we get anxious, right? We all do different things. But if you ask this question on the sales call, they get to see themselves more, yeah? And it's not like judgmental. And you can even tell them, like, there's no judgment. Like, it's just, I'm just here to support you so that we can, you know, get through this. Like now that she asked me that question, if I ever gonna get tired, I'm like, am I really tired? Or do I need to take a break and take a walk, jump in the pool, right? Whatever. Do I really need to go to bed right now? Maybe I do. But I know it's my resistance spot, right? So then I get to be more aware, right? And then also, she gets to support me. And if I'm into resistance, she goes, don't get tired. Don't go getting tired on me, right? So she knows. So you can support your people more if you ask them, like, hey, what happens when you get into resistance? And here's the key. You ready? Where are they going to show the resistance on the sales call? After the offer. So the likelihood of what they say about what they are resistance in and how they're resisting the offer is the same thing usually. And so you can bring it back up. Not in a judgmental way at all, but a supportive way. Okay? It may not work that way, but often it does. Does that make sense? Okay. So you got to be pretty confident here to say that, right? Like, when shit gets bad, what happens? You guys willing to ask people that? You'd be surprised how many people will just tell you. They're not like, because as long as you're being non-judgmental and they can feel that, and you've already bonded with them, really listened to their deepest desire, had a vision. Once you're at the point of like talking about blocks, They're not usually, they're pretty open. They're pretty open. Not everybody, but most people are. So it's really important to know. Now, if they sign up with you, isn't this valuable to know now? Oh my God. Like, yeah, you don't have to, like, you already know. Like, oh my God, they're going to disappear. Or, oh my God, they're going to get anxious and send me 10 emails, right? They've already told you. So then it's like material to work with once you guys are working together, and you can support them more and be in service to them more because they've told you what happens. You don't have to wait for it to happen. They're going to get in resistance when they work with you, yeah? Like, you're going to get resistance when you work with me. You're going to feel it. You're like, oh, she's making me charge more. Ah! Right? And so if I understand better your form of resistance, I can support you through that resistance. So you can find it all in the sales conversation. And can you see how if you go to that level of intimacy with them, they potentially will trust you more? Yeah, nobody asks people that. Like, when you get into resistance, what happens? Right? Like, nobody asks you that. Nobody really cares. But if you show you care, if you ask, you show you care. Cool? All right, who's having fun with sales? Woo! It's not as fun as beginning, right? Because we're getting closer to the end, I know. So bridge the gap with expert ideas. Usually I like to say, like, keep it simple here. Like, don't tell them they need a laundry list of things. They usually need like 1 to 3 things, maybe a couple more. But like for you guys, I might say, depending on the conversation, right? It might be like, you need a high-end offer, you need support to sell it, and you need some marketing that's aligned with who you are, not just any marketing, your marketing. So those would be the 3 things: an offer, support with sales, and then how to find people, which we're going to talk about in a second. And that's pretty much what I'm going over today, right? I've given you guys 5 things, you know, embody wealth, messaging. But if I were to really like get simple, I would just say these 3 things we're talking about here, so that you didn't, you know, get too confused in your mind on the sales conversation. So write down, what are the 3 things that, 1 to 3 things your people need usually on a conversation that you can spit out pretty quick. You need this, this, and this to get the results you want. So write those down, and I just want to get a couple shares. Because this is the piece where people talk too much. That's all it is. Talk too much about the process. What's yours? What would you say? When you're like on the call, what do your people need? What do usually you say, like, okay, I can help you with this, this, and this? Do you help them like tap into their spirit, with their, like, talk to their spirit guides, or what is it
Oh, subconscious shifting.
So subconscious shifting, boom, right? That would be one. Is there any what would be the other?
Definitely, how would you say, trauma healing,
Trauma healing.
like all the way,
Mm-hmm.
see, from 100 or whatever they are to 0, nothing.
Okay.
That's a big one.
Uh-huh. And then would there be another, or those 2, or there's more, maybe one more?
I mean, there's so much.
So that's what I'm saying. If there's so much, if you can, so each person, see if you can whittle it down to say these 3 things.
Like,
And maybe it'll be,
starting,
yeah. So that way, because when they're on the conversation, we've already done all of this stuff about where are you? Where do you want to be? What's getting in the way? What's the vision? Blah, blah, blah. So they got a lot going on. So when you tell them about your expertise, it's kind of your moment to shine almost, it feels like. You're like, I can help you. But you don't want to give too much here because they just get overwhelmed. So you want to try to keep it pretty simple. You need this, and you need this, right? And we're going to do it. And then we'll talk about the offer here in a second. But this is before you even offer. So can you see how like 6 out of 7 steps are just service? Just helping the person. That's it. So that's why I love sales so much. It's like the offer is like the least part of it, right? Do you think if you stopped here, please don't. Do you think if you stopped here, they would be happy? Super happy.
Walk away with something new to think about entirely.
Yeah. So would everybody be fine with having conversations like up to 6, like all the time in a day? Like, hey, what you got going on? What a big challenge. What do you do when you get in resistance? Right? That's not too hard. Now, number 7 is where it gets hard, yeah? You got to offer yourself up. So, you know, I could give scripts and all sorts of cool stuff on how to do this, but it's the same thing. This is your offer we talked about over here. Just share what you're going to do together, you know. Now, what I want to say, the bridge between, remember how I said transitions are the hardest? So it's often, do you guys feel ever on a sales conversation, it's kind of that bridge between like you offer the ideas, you guys talk, and then it's like, okay, it's time for the offer. And there's like this kind of weirdness. So what I say is ask for permission. Say, would it be okay with you if I shared how we could work together? If they say no, don't, right? But that way you don't feel intrusive and they feel that they made the choice to listen. So is it okay with you if I share some ways we could work together? And so oftentimes, and if you see like the script that I give out, if you guys want it, I'll give it to you. Just let us know. Up here in the leader position, you might even say to somebody like, I'm super excited to talk to you. We're going to talk for a while. And then at the end of the conversation, if it makes sense, we'll talk about ways we can work together. At the end of the conversation, if it makes sense, we'll talk about how we can work together. Because you may not want to work with them, right? After you talked with them, you're like, oh, it'd be so much work, right? Or maybe they're just not like the right alignment, but they want to work with you, and you're like, you don't want to. So you don't want to make the offer if you don't want to work with them. You need to be in the, you know, because if you have a client for a year, you better want that client, right? You better love them. Like, man, I love you so much, like this, right? Like I love my people. And so that's why you say, you kind of almost like put it on the table and then take it off the table, if it makes sense, right? So you're in control of your business and what you sell and who you offer to and all that kind of fun stuff. Huh?
I like both of those approaches and I like them together. Actually, I've been doing like give them the framework up front, but I like the idea of asking permission. And if it feels right at the end to ask permission again.
This absolutely.
Yeah.
I would absolutely 100% of the time do this, even if you do that.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah, because it's like, we're on this, it's like all of a sudden we're on the same page again. We're like, okay, we're here. Is it okay? Cool. And then they get to choose and we're like both on the same page. Because how many times you've been on, I love to be sold to, you guys. So if you got something to sell, like try to sell it to me because I love to be sold to. I love a good no, I love a good yes, right? I won't let somebody get off the phone with me with like a him hauling around. Right? We don't have a whole bunch of time to talk about objections today, but that's like that's where the money's made. I want a clear no. If you're going to say no to me, I want a clear no. And I'm going to make sure you get there, right? Because it's disempowering to be wishy-washy, right? And it might be not right now, but I want it clear, not right now. Okay, let's talk in a couple months then maybe, right? Like not like, okay, well, let me think about it. What are you going to think about? Right? Let's talk about it. Let's get it like super clear. That way it's a clear yes or no. So you feel empowered as you walk away from this conversation, right? And it might be like, let me think about it. We'll follow up in a couple of days. It doesn't have to be like yes or no right now, or else get the deal. I hate that, right? I never say that to anybody. So when you're making the offer, you want to really come back to that energy of the embodying the wealth and knowing that this is a priceless transformation you guys are offering them. It's priceless. The number is just the number, right? The high end, the 10,000, the 50,000, the millions, whatever, that's just the number. That's the number that they're choosing to value themselves at. They're choosing to put a value on that transformation, right? My first private business coach, I could have hired for like, I don't know, a quarter. I probably could have found somebody for a quarter of the price. Yeah. We can all find somebody cheaper usually, right? But I chose to invest in myself at a high level early on. Scared to death. Everybody invested in themselves been scared before? Yeah, we're of like mind. So it was like that moment where my coach gave me the opportunity and said how much it was the moment that I got to choose to play big. Right? If she would have said a quarter of the price, that's where I would have played. We probably wouldn't be here today, to be honest. So it's like you get to own the fact that when they start working with you, it is priceless. And the number is just the number that you guys are putting on it and they're valuing them, that transformation. But I hope that every single one of you, like if you help people transition to a plant-based diet, that's a life of, that's like decades of transformation. Like you can't put a price on that. You can't put a price on how many doctor's visits they're not going to have to go to, right? How many of their grandkids' soccer games they get to go to now, more years maybe, right? If they're unhealthy and they're getting healthy, right? So like it's priceless what you, like my goal is to help everybody make money and then know how to make money forever. Like you don't need me at a certain point. I want to help you learn how to make money, value yourself, put it all together, figure it out, and then forever go and you can sell lettuce on the street if you want, but you'll know how to sell it. Like I know someday, somewhere, one of you guys are going to be like in Spain selling like vegetables on the street, right? This is what I've envisioned it, so I know it's happening. I've seen it. Maybe it's me. I'm going to know how to sell those vegetables. I'll tell you what, I'm going to make. So can you see how empowered can you see how empowered I am? Like, I know that no matter if this business fell apart today, that I could go out tomorrow and sell something and make money and survive and be fine and create wealth again. That's why I'm so passionate about this. It's not about making money now and just helping people now. It's about a lifetime of knowing that you can do this. You can create income the way you want. And whether it's in selling lettuce or selling vegan programs or selling business coaching or whatever it is you're doing, you have a mindset where you know that you can create wealth doing anything. Is that cool? I love it. I'm so excited for you guys. Okay, so anybody have questions about this idea of offering a priceless transformation? Like, do you feel that you're not sure if you give people that, or do you like inside you're like, yes, I give people priceless transformation and I know it. I know you do because you give money back guarantee. I know you do because you're nodding your head. She's like, hallelujah, serious face. I love it. She helped me talk to trees, priceless transformation. Right? That's priceless. I was in California talking to the palm trees, by the way. They told me all sorts of stuff. They are real. They tell me real too. I'm like, okay. So that's priceless, like, right? Like there's things that are priceless for people that are with them for years, and you guys are bringing that. So I'll talk briefly about objections. What questions do you guys have here about the system, doing it this way? Any part of, oh yeah.
You have to find certain types of people to buy high-end offers, or, you know, because like, I feel like in the world I'm in, there are a lot of people who are like newer coaches or newer business people, and they have all their own shit that comes up around money. We all do, but that they're like less likely to invest on a bigger level. So do you feel like there's an element of trying to find people who will pay for your services?
Anybody else have that same feeling? Yeah, it's huge, right? It's like usually the thing, it's like, where do we find those people, right? It's a great question. It's actually what I'm gonna talk about next. Two things, okay? One, when you are ready to sell, they will arrive. When you are ready to sell high end, when you're really ready to sell, they just come. It's all energy. They'll show up. Somebody will send you somebody. When you're ready to sell, it's all energy. They show up. The universe brings them to you. You're like, damn, where do those people come from, that rich bitch?
Thank you.
Like you'll meet them in the grocery store. It's like so weird. You'll meet them like just random places. They'll say something like, I got a program for you. You want to talk? Right? I met a woman. We're working on a meeting when I just bought my new car. She was like, she's a saleswoman for cars. She just moved here. She loves the job. Actually, she's like, I never knew I'd like to sell cars. But she is into fitness. Like she's probably maybe around late 50s and ripped, like just ripped, and really fit and healthy and happy, and like has really created this beautiful life for herself. And she wants to be a fitness trainer, right? For other women who have gone through divorces and life transformations. And it's kind of actually, she's got the shaved head. She went through the whole, like she did her hair look and the whole thing, right? And I'm just like impressed by this woman. I'm like, this woman is cool. She's super heartfelt and sweet. And so like she's totally a high-end client potential, right, for me that I'm going to talk to, because she's mature. so she can handle business. Like I can tell she's very mature. She's not all over the place. She wants to help people. She's already doing videos, right? Just because she's service, she just helps people. She just wants to help people, right? So we're going to talk about like business, and maybe if she wants to step out of the sales doing that, maybe she'll sell her own services, right? I had no idea I was going to go buy a car and maybe meet a high-end client, right? So, but I'm ready to sell. Like you guys know that, right? If you don't, you will soon. Just kidding, totally kidding. I love to sell, so I'm always ready so that I don't ever have a problem finding people. I've actually never had a problem finding speaking engagements either, because I just show up and assume they're gonna come, and they come, right? And I get referrals and people, blah, blah, blah. So that's a big part of it, it's all energy. If you guys believe that they're gonna come, they'll come. I'm gonna show you how to find them in a second, strategically, but that's the first level. Now the second level is, yes, you probably need to hang around with some different kinds of people to find those kinds of people sometimes. Sometimes you're not positioning yourself around high-end people because of where your own money mindset is all it is. So what I would say to kind of make that shift, there's all sorts of things we can do, but one of my favorite things is go to a rich part of town. Maybe go to the Ritz-Carlton and have a coffee or a glass of wine or something, right? Or go to Cherry Hills Village, where there's like the Denver Broncos people live, right? They're like massive houses and they got all the things in them, right? And you kind of look, this is what I love to do. You kind of look at everything. And you're like, huh, they're not doing it. Like, they're not any different than me. They're just human. They got problems. Same old, just humans being human, right? And you start to feel yourself in relationship to them. Like, what's the gap? Why aren't you around those kinds of people that can afford you more, right? And then you start to realize when you are around them, they're like, they're just people, just humans. Like, they're just so it's like, it's just a positioning thing. You may not be able to go and find them and sell them right away. You might need to go and find them and kind of be around them and feel into it. There's like scariness. Many of my clients come to me and they're kind of scared to like go around rich people. And I'm like, oh my God, the rich people have the most problems. Go help them, please, right? So yes, you do probably have to find, like, position yourself around some people who can pay you. So one of the things that if you find yourself on sales conversations a lot with people who cannot afford you, you need a screening process. And I can help you with that. We can talk about it later. But you need a screening process because you're wasting your time serving people who can't afford you. It's not like every person's going to get on the phone and buy your stuff, right? But like, they need to be somewhat of the mindset that this is a price range that they could buy in. So yes. So first, believe that you're ready for it and can receive those clients, right? And then second, position yourself around them. And I'm going to show you how in a second. Super cool. But what I will say is they're everywhere. You just don't know it because we're all hiding things about money. We don't tell other people things about our money situation. So you have no idea which person in this room has a huge chunk of money, but might look like they don't, or might even not talk like they don't. They might be broke. They might say like they're broke, but they actually got a whole bunch of money, but they don't see it that way. You see that? So if you do the conversation with them and you show them the value and you experience Australia and the Aboriginal women or whatever it is, they might pull out the card and say, well, I actually do have some money, but it wasn't really supposed to be used for this. Right? Anybody ever had that kind of conversation? Yeah, we all have, right? So it's really interesting. Like, I work with money. I love to say, like, I help people make money that don't really like money. It's like, my people are like, I just want to help the world. I'm like, I'm not a business coach that helps people who like money, right? It's like, they like it, but they don't, like other business coaches might business coach people who are like money driven. My people are not, they're soul driven, right? And so, I like to joke about it because I'm like, why do I pick things that are so hard? I used to do environmental work. I was like, why did I pick something so hard? Trying to solve all the world's problems all the time. But it's fun for me. It's super fun to kind of feel the energy and be able to shift it. So let's talk about objections a little bit. Would that be helpful? And so usually there's lots of different things, but usually it's money, right? I don't have the money. Okay. That's never true. I mean, yes, sometimes people can't afford you and all of that stuff, but if they really, really wanted the result, they wanted the love in their life, like Julia can help with, right? If you want the money that I can help with, if you want the health that all this other stuff, you know, that Johanna can help with, right? You'll find the money. Is that true? Like you'll find it, you'll figure it out, you figure it out, you figure it out. You'll find the money, you figure it out, right? We all do. So it's never the money. So it's your job to be on the call and know that. It's not like we say, it's not about, no, it's not. Like we can't be like telling them it's not, but you need to know that. It's never the money. So if you know that your stuff is not too expensive. Keep going. Somebody will find value. What I see a lot of times when somebody has a high-end program, they're like, well, nobody really bought it. Like, well, how many people did you offer it to? Like 10. Okay, like how much do you care about humanity? Like go offer it to 1,000, right? Now don't go and do that and without my help because you'll waste your time and not make money, but, or somebody's help, get some help. But like, don't give up, right? Like if it's not working, get some help. Go online, Google it, YouTube, whatever, like get some help, find a friend. Phone a friend, right? That's a thing. Phone a friend. Somebody has got to help you. But don't give up and think like people aren't going to buy it. Have you ever had something and like people aren't going to buy it? They're not going to buy it. It's not going to work. So that's what you want to, you know, just really show up and know it's never about the money. It's usually about they don't see the value that you're offering. They can't see that you can actually give them what they want. Like unless you guys can see that I can help you get the business and the money and the clients you want, you're not going to sign up with me. Right? Unless you can see that I can help you with your messaging to talk to high-end clients, you're not going to sign up with me. Right? So it's not that you can't afford me. Right? It's that there's something else. Maybe it's they don't value that thing actually. Maybe they're talking about what they want up here and you guys have this lovely dovey thing and they don't actually want it after all. Maybe they just don't want it. Right? Like Julia, how many times you get on the phone with somebody and they say they want love, but do they really want love? Scared to death. They're not ready yet, right? Not ready yet. But it's okay because what is a no? It's a yes later, okay? If you are in sales and service, they will come back to you when they're ready. If you're in service, if you see them fully, you're their person when they're ready. Even if they're not ready right now, you're their person. If you do the sales conversation really well of service, other people. So sometimes people be like, oh, I can't do it. My husband wants us now, right? Maybe that's the case. Usually it's not. Usually it's not. It's them using their person as an excuse to not own their power, okay? Now, I never tell somebody to be like, go against your husband or person. Like, that's not like that. Like, you want to honor a relationship, right? Because we want to honor our relationship together. We want to honor our relationship. But dig in just a little and ask them, like, do you want some help? Like when somebody says, I don't have the money or I can't do it because of time, that's the next one, or a person. I'm like, I always say, do you want to open a conversation about it? Like, let's talk about it. Let's figure out how to make the money. Do you want ideas to talk to your husband? Do you want ways to find the time? Don't take the excuses and just be like, okay, help them. If they want it, help them. If they still don't want to step in, it's okay, but help them. Like, show them the way. Like, I got a woman I talked to, I made an offer, she didn't step in, but I told her exactly how to go make the money. I just got a message yesterday about her getting her first client, right? And so the whole point, I told her, I go make some money, get some clients and hire me and I'll help you get more, right? But I showed her exactly what to do and she did it, right? And so if you don't go into the objection and be like, well, do you want an idea how to make the money? And you just take the no, like that person doesn't get progress potentially, right? This person has a new client I'm so jazzed about because I just said, hey, do you want to talk about it? I know you can't afford me today, but you might tomorrow if I show you how. Okay. So this is why people like love to I have people that want to do sales conversations with me. And I'm like, are you ready to buy? Literally, are you ready to buy? No. Because they know they'll get further just by being on the conversation with me, even if they don't buy, right? That's what you want for your people. You want to be really service. Time. is a big one. You guys ever get the time thing? Like, I don't have time to do that right now. I got so much going on. I got so much going on. I'm so busy. My favorite thing to say, do you know what it is, Johanna? My favorite thing to say to that is, I don't have time right now. That's exactly why you should sign up. That's exactly why you should sign up. If you don't have time for this, if you don't have time for da-da-da-da, that's exactly why you should do this, because I can help you with that. That's one of my favorite lines to say from an objection. Oh, you don't have money? That's exactly why you should join me. I'll show you how. That's exactly why. So whatever the objection is, it could be, you know, the reason why they need to sign up. Does that make sense? You guys liked that one, didn't you? You're like, yeah, I'm using that one. Can you feel it? Okay. Any questions about sales? And then I'm going to talk about how to find some of these high-end people. Is anybody excited about their next, who has a sales conversation coming up in the next couple days? Okay, can everybody else get one on their calendar soon? Because you need to be selling stuff if you're in business, right? Unless you're not in a, you know, in a time of your business where you're selling, but unless you're in like a heavy fulfillment time or something like that. But generally speaking, you need to be having prospects in your calendar or you're not growing your business, yeah?
Yeah.
How many of you guys have somebody on your calendar here from today? Oof, you guys got to work with me. Okay. I'm like, woohoo! All right, yeah, like there's like potential, like lots of like huge potential in here, you guys. So the fact that none of you guys have a single person in your calendar, do you? Do you? Do you? You? No? Ooh, we got to talk. We got to talk, okay? Because I know some of you guys have thought about each other as clients in here. Somebody has. I don't know who it is, but you guys have been talking and you're thinking like, oh, I could help them, right? You didn't set up the meeting, okay? Because why? You're scared of this. So hopefully you'll set more meetings up now and feel really comfortable. And if you guys want, you guys can email us and we'll send you the actual, like the scripts, like what to say. You know, all of the stuff I've been kind of voicing, I have it all in a workbook, like all of it. And ideally you just build your confidence. Just build the sales muscle, right? That's what we say, just build the courage, build the sales muscle by doing it, getting the phone conversations. I would actually, if I were you guys, team up. If you're struggling, say, hey, will you practice with me? Would you be willing to practice with me? Like you guys have people here that might practice with you. Will you do a practice call with me? And help me see, where is it that I'm kind of like weird? Where do I get weird? Help me. What do I say when I get weird? Like, can you help me say something different? This could mean millions of dollars for you guys. Practicing sales. Millions. It's huge. I practice sales conversations with other high-end women. And every time I do, I have more enrollments. It's hilarious. I'm like, oh, I got to practice more often. It's all energy. When we're prepared to sell, we sell. That's what it is. It's kind of what we were talking about earlier. Okay. Sell, and all will be? Well. Okay. All right. So let's do one more piece here. Any question? I would be interested in March. How much do you guys want to sell in your business? How much do you want to bring in your business in March? What's your March revenue goal? 18. What else? Okay. Okay. So write those numbers down. We're just going to do a little math. I'm a numbers girl, but we don't have time to do a whole bunch of stuff. I love doing number planning with people. You guys ever want help with that? But figure out now, like how many, like for that revenue goal in March, how many of your high-end price point clients do you need? High-end programs, packages do you need to sell? So I heard an 18. What was your price point? Who said 18? And what's your, well, you don't, I mean, you have got different stuff, but what would be one price point?
6,000.
So 3 clients in March to make $18,000. Does that sound like doable?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to go super into this. I love this stuff, right? You know how I love talking about conversion and numbers. But imagine if she wants 3 clients, 18 grand next month, and she needs to do this sales conversation. She needs to know her conversion rate. So you guys want to start paying attention. How many people say no to how many people say yes? So then say in the beginning of business, maybe you might be like 10 or 20%, somewhere around in there, where every 10 people you talk to, every 5 to 10 people you talk to, somebody says yes. So say hers is 20%. We'll just, are you following me? Okay, so for every 5 people she talks to, 1 person says yes. Okay, so how many people does she need to talk to enroll 3 clients? So all she's got to do at this point says, I need 15 people. I mean, it could happen sooner. It will, because she's better than, she's got higher conversion than 20%. But she's in her mind now, you can do, and you say, I need to sit down and have this conversation with 15 people in March to reach my 18 grand. Most people don't do that in this business. They just kind of wing it. Like, I need to find a person. Where's some people? Where's some people? I'm on this stuff. But nobody thinks about like, well, how many people do I need to actually talk to meet my goals, right? I have all these goals, but I don't actually like break it down. So if you just break it down and then you chunk your time, I need to do 15 calls. Well, okay, I'll pick 5 days out of the month, maybe the first week, and do 3 calls a day. Done. Most people aren't doing this. They're serving people and fulfilling and finding things. But really, you could be at home in your fuzzy socks, probably like picking up the phone, calling some people, right? You might have to go out and stuff, but a lot of you guys have people already on your list that would buy from you if you just sit down and call them and use this conversation. Do you feel that? Totally. So I would say if you could in this next year, spend a little more time in sales and a little less time in fulfillment, you'll reach your goals. Usually you want to be in fulfillment about 20% of the time and sales and marketing about 80%. How many of you guys are doing that? Right? It's a, you know, it might take a little time because when you're newer in business or you're, you know, transitioning, you might have to do more sales and marketing, and then you might be in a period where you launch something and you're doing fulfillment. But generally speaking, you want to be in sales and marketing more than fulfillment. That's how you grow. I got some ahas there, yeah? Some like, oof, I got to change my schedule around a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about industry leader marketing, and then we'll wrap up for the day. I really thought about this a lot. I was like, you know, what is it that they need to know to really like charge high end, you know? Like, we can talk about embodying wealth and believing and creating the sales system and the program and all of that. But like, if you're going to charge high end, you need to be looked at a certain way, right? And so I was like, well, what do they need to be looked at? And I thought about recently, I was at Achieve University here, and you know, in a room with lots of different ranges of business owners, millionaires, to just starting off. And you know, I'm pointed to quite often as and mentioned as an industry leader, right? In the end of the day, I'm somewhat of a baby business owner. Okay, I started my business, I really started doing business in 2014, and then hired my first business coach in 2016. My first private, I did some online stuff, but my first private business coach in 2016. And so that's not that long ago, right? Like, I mean, does that feel kind of not that long ago? It feels like yesterday to me, right? Like, I'm kind of a baby business owner. That's how I feel, right? But there's people that are multimillionaires who have been in the industry for years that call me an industry leader. Why? Position myself as visible. That's it. That's it. I'm gonna show you guys something. I'll be right back. I'm gonna show you guys. You see this thing? Anybody know what I call this thing? What do I call this thing, Kathy?
Magic box.
Magic box, you know it. This is a magic box, you guys. Why? What am I talking about? Where do you guys see me, mostly? In your hand. I am in your hand every single day. I am in your hand every single day. Is that true? Yeah. What's coming up?
Be on Facebook more.
Everybody else is, right? The industry leaders, the multimillionaires, the people who are going to buy from you, they're there. They're totally there. They're right in front of you. They're right there. They're already there. It's just about you showing up and talking their talk and, you know, talking what they need to hear and their messaging and giving them an offer and all of that kind of stuff. 70% of people on Facebook this is Facebook stats, never comment, like, or share. They're watching. They're watching. So there's a lot of talk about the Facebook algorithm, right? And things aren't working as well as they used to. Some of you guys might have heard that kind of stuff. Some of you may, some of you may not. I call bullshit. Exactly, right? Why does it work for you, Lizeth? Why would Facebook work for you?
Oh, people connect right away with my energy. They see me and they're like, boom.
Right. Yeah, you've built connection,
Right.
true connection, right? I built true connection with people on there.
They know you. They see you every day. Whether you're teaching or sharing, they feel like all of a sudden they're part of your family. They're like your friend.
Mm-hmm.
They trust you right away.
Yeah, I don't have any algorithm problems at all because I show up consistently, build community, people, you know, there's conversations. So on social media, there's a gentleman, he says as business owners, we're professional conversation starters. I want to write that down. We're professional conversation starters. So if you're the kind of person who can start a conversation and get other people involved, you're more likely to build community. It's huge. Then you also want to be very generous. Give your best stuff away. Give your best stuff away. Tell them the best stuff. I'll tell them all the things. All the things. I give you guys all the things, right? Everything. If you want my help, I'll help you, but you can have all my things. I don't care, right? I'll give it to you all. I'll give it to you on Facebook. I'll give it to you all over. So the thing is it's not just about your clients being there. It's the people who are going to give you the high level opportunities, like what? Excuse me, video, speaking, right? So if you want to go high end, I highly recommend speaking. I just do. It's like when you're a speaker, you are the expert in that topic. That's what you're seeing. Uh-huh.
So I'm completely incongruent with Facebook. And when I show up on Facebook, you can tell.
Have you had any training? Have you had any support through it?
Not much.
That's why. It's a business strategy you need to learn and get help with. It's not just a willy-nilly thing.
It's an emotionally charged shit show for me.
So you're saying it doesn't work for you or you don't like it?
No.
Okay, don't do it. Okay, it will work for you if you learn how, though. I promise you that. If you learn how, it will work for you. You have a lot of resistance. I can feel it. Don't do it.
I don't.
Don't.
But if that's where they are, then
I'm just going to tell, this is what I'm going to tell you. You don't have to do, I'm never going to say do something that's out of alignment, baby. That's bad for your health. Like, don't do stuff. Like, look, you're
that's bad.
you're already lit up, right? So I would say there's opportunity here for you also. There's a breakthrough potentially. Maybe not, maybe you don't want to do it, but if you want it, because it feels like you've done it, so you might have wanted it at one point.
I've done it except for
You don't have to. I'm going to tell you that right now. I will tell you right now, I've done Facebook trainings. You were in the Facebook training. I've had people do my Facebook training and then afterwards say, okay, now I get it. Now I'll do it. I literally have people like, I'm never doing video, like yelling at me. I'm like, okay, like whatever. You don't have to do video. Like, okay, like don't do video, baby. Okay. Like, I'm not gonna tell you not to do anything because you're more important than what people say, right? But sometimes your biggest breakthrough is after your biggest breakdown. Sometimes what we most resist is what will bring us the most of what we want. I'm not saying it is, but maybe this thing or something else, because it's so charged, there's healing opportunity. I don't know what it is, but it's there, right? And so maybe you were traumatized by this person who told you this. Maybe you went on a video and something happened, but what I want to say is no marketing. Don't ever let anybody tell you have to do something in your business. It's your business. It's your creative essence. What I would say is that, yes, video will position you as a higher leader in the industry because you're seen. That's it. Those who are seen are considered more of industry leaders. It'll just get you there a little faster. It doesn't mean you can't be an industry leader without it, right? It just takes a little longer because everybody's on the phone thing all the time. Okay. If you want to talk after too, like not just today, but like we'll talk. We'll talk a little bit, okay? Now, speaking, video, and then partnerships. Have you guys heard that I've been talking about that a lot today? Yeah. If you really want to go big, like team up with people who have people already who need your help, right? Like I don't get all my clients coming to me just because I go find them. I got a big business to run. I don't have time to go find all my people all the time. I got other people that refer people and bring me people and say, you should talk to Leela. You got money problems? Talk to Leela, right? Right? Or I've got other people that are my colleagues that might send out a little thing to their group and then their people will come to me, right? So when you get to a certain level, you might have people in your life that have access to people that you could connect with. Also collaborations. So this is like down to everything from just doing like a speaking opportunity together, right? Like I had 2 speakers here today, right? That's bringing other people in. You know, they get to get an access to my audience, right? They get to help in a way that and you know, talk about stuff that will help you that I'm not talking about, right? And then they might go, Julia and Johanna might go share the videos or something out on their audience, right? And then I'll have exposure in their audiences, right? So there's lots of really cool stuff you guys can do with collaborations, partnerships. What I will say is I studied collaboration as part of my PhD research. Everybody wants to collaborate nowadays, yeah? It doesn't always work, okay? It has to be a win-win-win, meaning win for you, win for them, and win for the collective. Just because you like somebody doesn't mean it's gonna like, you should do work together, right? So I get a lot of people coming to me, we should collaborate. And like my know-it-allness, I studied collaboration, I know like, you know, I'm like getting all like, well, do you even know what collaboration is? Right? I can feel my know-it-allness, like, right? But it's because they didn't like say to me like, how are you? Who are your people? What do your people need? If you don't ask me what my people need, we're not collaborating. Because I care about my people. And if you don't care about my people, we're not collaborating. Because that's my business, it's about my people, right? So that's like the thing with collaboration. You might not need but one collaborative partner, right? That's like the one partner that's gonna help you skyrocket, and maybe you guys skyrocket together and help everybody skyrocket, right? But over time, if, you know, I just call it in. I ask, I'm like, hey, can you, like Mickey, when she joined my team, I go, can you please send me someone? I need help, right? I was like, I need help, send me someone. And we were in a meeting together and she was asking a bunch of questions. I was like, oh my God, she asked the best questions I've ever heard. Like, I need her on my team. She sees all that. She sees like the in-between spaces that nobody sees, you know, and I need somebody like that in my world because I'm a big picture person. She's very good at details. And so you want to start calling people in, talking to people, playing around with partnerships. I have a whole, in my mastermind group, I teach my clients how to create referral programs, like kind of like an affiliate program would be or something, where, and you know, you can send out, your person can send out emails to their list and give your free stuff out. And then maybe those people want to work with you. And then you will give them money in return. Maybe you give them 20% of your program, right? So people could make a 6-figure income off of just referring people to me. Okay, so I like to collaborate, partner up, have referral partnerships with people who are motivated, 1, to help my people, but 2, also to make money. Because if they're not motivated to make money, they're probably not going to send me people, right? Unless they're always seeing people and they just want to, you know, but if you're in a referral program, it's a win-win-win, right? So you guys might have people already who are sending you people that you could set up a referral program with, and they'll send you more because it'll just be top of mind. Does that make sense? So this is the next level. So there's all sorts of ways to do marketing. Like you can do Facebook ads, you can do funnels, you can do Instagram, there's TikTok. Who's doing TikTok? I'm not. Okay, nobody else is either. I was just wondering, I was like, let me see. They're cute, they're fun, but it's not part of my, you know, I'm not interested. So these are the things though, in terms if you really want to start going high end, like, you know, $100,000 offer and all that, you want to be seen an industry leader, right? And so you're going to want to probably speak at some events where you're seen with a microphone in your hand and there's pictures of you, right? And you're going to want to have some video because why? Nobody really cares about your website. They want to stalk you on Facebook. Figure out who the hell is this person? They do not care about your website, because how many people have seen a really nice website and like the person has no idea what they're doing. And then how many people have like had like kind of no website and like are awesome? Yeah. Yeah, like we all know that. Like my website, like it's fine, nothing. Like it's not really even a website, you know, but I do awesome work. I know it. I love what I do. I get great results for my people, right? So people aren't really like checking me out on my website. They're checking me on social media. That's where they're first thing gonna go, social media. They're gonna try to find you on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or somewhere before they even go to your website. So even if you're not doing video, maybe you create a really powerful social media presence with using beautiful photos that represent where your people want to be. Like, where do your people want to be when they're done working with you? You could do some photographs, some graphics, some really beautiful like written posts. So you don't have to do video, but the social media presence in this day and age, it just establishes you more as an expert. Even if you're not as expert as somebody else, if you're showing up, you're going to be seen that way. And that's what's going to give you the opportunities to speak on bigger stages or to get access. Like, has anybody ever been on like a virtual summit or something like that where you get to be in front of like thousands of people? Yeah.
I've attended one.
Attended one. Okay, yeah, you guys know what we're talking about. So when you're online or when you're seeing speaking or when you have partnerships with people who are well connected, then you get more opportunities. Opportunities come to me all the time. I don't have to leave my house. I mean, I do because it's, you know, I'll get kind of weird if I don't ever, right? Like be like hobbity or hermit. I'll be like a hermit. But I don't have to because I have enough people around me who will send me people, and I have enough access to people who give me speaking opportunities and people, you know, that just see me on the social media. So this is really going to get you to a place where it's all about really just charging more. That's what, you know, what it is. I think I just heard a stat, like 90% of businesses are still not doing video. Okay. So if you're not doing video, you're like with most other people. If you are doing video, you're seen as an industry leader. Why? Because most people aren't doing it. That's why. And we also grew up with what? TV. So we're programmed, we're literally subconsciously programmed to think if you're on a screen, you're a big deal. Isn't that funny? It is. It's like, oh, she must know what she's talking about. She's on the screen. Cool. What questions do you guys have now about finding people? Finding high-end clients? Do you guys know where to find them now? You're going to go find them? Going to go find them? Going to go sell them? Find them? Sell them? Who's excited?
First, I'm gonna do some research and drive in some rich neighborhoods, maybe go to a rich neighborhood and go into a coffee shop and talk to someone that's drinking the same kind of coffee. That's an option.
Yeah.
Do some research.
Do some market research.
Some market research. Maybe you can join Facebook groups of particular tastes of people that are making the money that I want to make. Maybe they have a Pinterest or a Facebook group or some other interest that they're all. Maybe they collect dogs. Maybe they breed dogs or just anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
On that group. Comment.
Absolutely. Comment, engage, yeah. And everybody in here is connected with people who will buy your stuff. You just don't think it. You're not offering. They totally will. They promise. I know it. I've seen it over and over. Like, I think, Julia, when you signed up with me, you were like, if you would have told me I could charge that much, I would have rolled my eyes. I would have, a couple months ago, I would have rolled my eyes, right? And I'm like, they're right there. They're right there.
I guarantee you have people on Facebook that would buy your services for that price point. And I was like, I don't know. And I made 10K like that month. I made 50K in like 3 months.
Yeah.
And like I was before that with the mindset that I don't know people that would buy that.
And she made 50K in 3 months. I don't know people who will buy that. And with some messaging, from some embodiment, from knowing how to sell, doing just a few things, right? It's not like massive change. I mean, there was changes, but not like you got to dye your hair purple and go upside down or anything weird. Like,
Oh, and there were tears too. Just like you were talking about getting. Sometimes you have to go through some of the hardest things to get to the thing that you want. I forgot the way you phrased it, but that's exactly what Julia did. She had the moments, you know. She had the breakdowns. She had the emotional response and the resistance to that. And I was there every step of the way, but past that, after that, she didn't die. She survived.
Well, it's really just the support, like for you, Lila, just supporting me and sort of being there when I have those conversations that were scary, or like, just knowing that you were
were there, just helping me to refine things as well, and just being like, oh, do it. You know, it's like you're riding a bike and you have like training wheels, and you know, your mom or dad like kind of is like, okay, like no hands now, kind of thing.
Did the training wheels go
Talk
off?
to the people. You know, but it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. Thank you. Yeah, so you guys have people. You can see she was like, I don't know, and she made 50 grand in 3 months, right? And she wasn't going out and doing a whole bunch of other stuff, speaking all over the world or doing anything crazy. It was just reaching out to some people that she already was connected to. So I would challenge you all to think about in your own mind where that resistance is. I know there's resistance in everybody's mind on some level, like, I don't know if I can, or I don't know if there's people there. But you just heard a story, they're right there. They're right there. When you're ready to sell, they'll show up. They'll show up. So what I want to do is, Mickey, will you grab, there's we'll have it over here. I've got a sign-up sheet. I really just want to talk to people who are ready to talk about, you know, I'm not saying like you got to sign up with me, but if you think like maybe you want to work with me, maybe you want some ideas, or you got this one thing in your head that you want help with, you're like, can she help me? Maybe sign up. I'm actually I don't know if I'm going to take the call, to be honest. I'm going to ask you guys some questions first. It's not like a free call like I usually do, because I only want to work with people who are really committed to their journey. Okay, so I'll send you guys some like a little questionnaire. But what I've done is I've put just to make sure it's a right fit for the call. Because if it's not a right fit for the call, I'll still send you guys some. I'll give you something. Like I'll give you some training and say, watch this video, do this thing, and then we'll talk. Right. So. But what I want to know is, one, your name and your email, but I want to know your revenue goal, okay? Because that's going to determine whether or not we talk, okay? Because I only want to really work with people who are going to play big this year. And if you only want $50,000, I'm not your coach. But I will help you find a coach. I'm not your coach, though, okay? I'm only going to help you if you want to make over 6 figures. That's really the only kinds of clients that I work with now. So I didn't want to say, you know, sign up and then me tell you later, no, you can't get it. If you want to make over 6 figures, you're not sure how, you need some ideas, sign up, and then we'll kind of chat and make sure it's a right fit to have the call. I will make you an offer if it makes sense. But my goal is to really, in particular on the call, is this piece. Give you some ideas. I'm an idea woman. How many people have got ideas for me to make money ever? Today at all? Like somebody, maybe? Yeah. Okay, I got tons of ideas, and I will listen to you, and I'll feel into like there's a lot of times I'll like ask people, like I might have been on a call with you and you were talking about video, and I might have been like, do you really want to do video? And you're like, no. I'm like, don't do it. Like that might be something that I say, and you could be like, good. I'm out of here, video. Screw you, right? Like, cool, like that could just take it off your plate. Like you don't even have to think about it again, right? So that might be an idea I give you. Or maybe I'll give you an idea about how to package your services. If you have multiple modalities and you need to put them together in a package, that's sometimes a thing that's kind of hard, you know? So lots of ideas to make money, get out there, be seen as an industry leader. If you want to chat with me, I'm here for you, 100%. Sign up and take an apple on the way out. And I'll be around for questions. If you guys want to sign up, if you have any questions about the products, Johanna will be over here. About if you're like, I don't know if I want business coaching, but I might want to be on your team to do a multiple, you know, another revenue stream here. If you want to talk to me about building your multiple 6-figure business here. And then Julia, will you stay around if anybody wants to talk about love and relationship?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so I like to do this thing, and I never make anybody do it, but if there's anything that's helpful, I'd love to know, because I'm doing market research always. I want to know either today or another time, you know, whatever, but just what's been helpful for you, you know, so that I can do more of that for others. Yeah.
You may have missed your comment. You should have.
Oh, I love when this happens. What? It's always a man too. He's like, you should be something different. I'm like, I know myself. No, just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. What is it?
You have all these voices.
Oh.
Well, I mean, like, I have a friend. Oh my God, she makes so much money. And like, I went to college with her, but she does like the voices you see on like a BMW commercial.
Oh, like a commercial voice?
Yeah, or just
I curse too much for that.
whatever. I mean, whatever, but I enjoy it. Let me just put it that way.
I love it.
All your voices. I mean, like you had like 20 different voices come out of here.
I grew up with brothers. We played a lot with each other. I don't know. I think that's what it is. I have really hilarious brothers, and so we like.
Well, yeah, it's great.
Uh-huh.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, thank you.
Even if it's not a change.
Yeah, the only girl.
It's not a change.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks. I love it. I love it. I love it.
It was hilarious.
So good. 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 I love that you're entertained. That's what I want. I don't want to bore you.
How many brothers do you have?
I've got two brothers. One's a year older, and then one's 11 years younger. Yeah, my younger brother's gay, and like hilarious, like the typical gay guy that like gets away with saying everything mean. He's like, I get away with everything. Like, he's so funny. He's so funny. He's so funny. Oh, it's like his form of humor. It's hilarious. Like, he loves it. And then my older brother's like, we're so close in age. We're like Irish twins. So we love each other so much it like hurts. You know that, like, we're so, oh my God. I love that.
So that's